Hey, what's up, people? We got a little bit different video for you guys today. This is the man, the myth, the legend. This is Uncle Ted. For those of you that follow us, for those of you that know us, Uncle Ted is the owner of 85 ASC McLaren Project Mercury Rising. And today he's going to take us for a ride. He's going to talk about the history of the car, what it means to him, and really just all the details and all the good, juicy stuff that went into this amazing build. So enough of my jibber jabber. We're going to get right into it. This is the first time I've rode shotgun in this car, I think.
No way. Have you driven this car?
I have driven it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a blast.
I was fixing to say,
it's
yeah.
It's a blast.
It's a really fun ride.
This car is crazy. So awesome. Awesome machine. Hand built, the whole 9 yards. So
I think that's some of my best joys is sometimes when I just get in it and drive it to work, or when me and the wife just hop in it and go to West, drive on the back roads, a little blacktop, 2-lane blacktop. That is it.
Man, you got this thing has AC, cold AC, hot heat, all the amenities.
Throwing cubes at us right now.
That's that ride. This is fun. Ride's good.
Yeah.
All that maximum motorsport suspension underneath this
It's
thing.
still pretty tight, but you still feel once in a while, you'll feel it has a one or two little tiny little rattles or squeaks in it, and it's not anything period. It's just a design in the back end because these cars at this age, just older designs.
Oh, absolutely.
They weren't as tidy as these brand new cars are, but it's about the tightest one I've ever had. Well, the inside is incredibly different with all the matting inside.
Yes.
With the boom mat change and everything.
Yeah, Shannon outdid himself on that. Mass back carpet, sound deadening materials, on top of sound deadening materials, behind the headliner, underneath the carpet, firewall, patch area, it's everywhere. That's what he told me when he was building this thing. He wanted to hear himself thinking this thing.
Yeah.
That's how quiet he wanted it.
It's very quiet inside. The only thing that overtakes the noise inside the car is when you get above 3,500 RPMs.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the tone comes in on the exhaust.
Coyote starts talking to you.
Oh yeah. She wants that's when it just starts getting fun.
Oh yeah. Already getting started.
Mm-hmm.
How many miles you got on now? 3,303, is that what I see?
Yeah.
And that's been trouble-free.
3,300 miles.
Trouble-free miles. You hadn't even made it to your first oil change?
Yep.
You changed oil already?
Oh yeah. I had Hubbard change the oil a couple of weeks ago. Last time I had it in the shop at 3,000 miles exactly.
That is a testament of a well-built Coyote Swap.
You kind of want to
routine maintenance, check over all, nut and bolt everything. You know, it's
it'll
all
go 5,000 on the oil change, but geez, you know.
Right. That's the car guy.
I'm old school. Yeah.
That's the car guy in us. Give us something to tinker with. Popo.
I saw his partner just a second ago.
Oh well, it's an antique. We don't have to have a front plate or registration.
No front plate or registration.
It's old school. Oh, he ain't even looking at it. It's cool watching people look at this car. Like watching people watch you.
Yeah, you get some rubberneckers.
Yes,
definitely. Swivel heads too.
Yeah. You know.
Sometimes I get the old UFO look too. It's like, oh my God! The next move, moving their head inside the car, looking.
A UFO.
Yeah, it's like you've seen a UFO. You're like,
oh, what is that thing?
What? Look, honey, what is that? I've had a few people actually say that it's a Capri. Just a handful. All the rest say they don't know what it is.
Want to drive me a Mercury? Cruising up and down the road. So much fun. So that's Gen 2 Coyote, T56 Magnum 6-speed transmission, the 266 first ratio gearing, and the 355 rear gear, for those of you that are wondering. Really, really good setup for a casual cruiser all around. Coyote Swap. That's a really good setup. The 355 rear gear with the 266 T56.
you can run it 80 miles an hour in 6, and it's just, oh, it's almost not bogging, but yeah.
Yeah, have you factored your fuel mileage? Like if you're just cruising around in 6th gear, because this is a double overdrive transmission, so 5th and 6th gear are both overdrive.
Yeah.
Have you factored it, your miles per gallon? Miles per gallon?
As long as I'm under 3,500 RPMs, I believe it gets pretty dang good. I bet it gets almost 24 miles to the gallon or something. That's something insane.
That's probably right.
It's really incredibly efficient.
That's probably very accurate, because most of your newer cars, 6-speed Mustangs, again, Coyote engine, you know, you drive, I guess, quote unquote, normal conditions. You know, they're 24, 25 miles per gallon. The heart of the beast.
There she is. Ain't that a beauty?
That's awesome. Gen 2 Coyote. This was the power module. So engine, transmission, controls pack, T56 transmission to be exact. Custom fab work from Shannon on the cold air kit. Scott Hubbard. Both those guys did an awesome job. Did all the detail-oriented fab work. Man, look at that. There's some dust on it. Ted drives his car. Ted drives his car. He enjoys it. Man, Hubbard and Shannon did a bang-out job on this.
How do you like my custom support up there?
That's Scott Hubbard 101 right there, baby.
That's right.
I mean, the whole car is hand-built, but some of the rarity parts, built the little headlight panel, the cover here, hand-built that. And then the granddaddy of it all, other than everything else, is the hand-built aluminum splitter, and that is wrapped in carbon fiber. And what's cool is a lot of these parts, Shannon called Hank, and Hank was like, "What's up?" You know, 25 years later, he's restoring the car again, and Hank still has all the same parts. You know, Shannon had his laundry list of stuff. All right, I need headlight covers, tail light covers, this, that, air dam, you know, rockers, the whole 9 yards. I love those Series 1 wheels. Man, we went through quite a few renderings before we decided on that. Cobra style, SV Cobra style brakes. How many car shows do you think you've gone to with this thing?
Been to probably 5 car shows. 2 of them judged. All the rest of them were just a pleasure car show. I made top 25 in both car shows among some incredible cars.
I bet.
A Woody, a 60 model Corvette that says Bristol modded just like my car, top to bottom.
You plan on taking it to any other things like road race events, or you kind of a casual cruiser guy? You just like car shows, going out to eat, sunny day driving?
I love all that, all the sunny day driving, but also we'll probably wind up taking it to the track, running a few laps on the track. I'll get our race guy to do that, Scott Hubbard.
Mr. Scott Hubbard. He's done it a long time.
He wants to take it on a few laps. We'll put some race tires on it, run around the track a few times. I'll probably get the hot lap it, hopefully. And that's probably going to be its racing career.
That thing looks sweet on track.
But it really is beautiful on the track.
Especially in those real tight turns, get all that weight shifted over on that tire.
I want to see the wheels turning and him going around the corner, and it'll be a really incredible sight.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
I'm looking forward to a fun year this year. I'm really looking forward to hopefully we'll have more car shows and events to put it in. I was also invited to go to Dallas to the big shows. And that's a fun itself too. Also, that's really fun. It's sitting in your car, sitting behind your car in your canopy, and just enjoying the people walking by, looking at your car. Nobody touches it, and they know not to touch it, and they all just observe it, see the beauty of your car, and tell you how beautiful it is. And every day you're 10 foot tall.
cruising.
You know, I also
the old
can
Merc.
say like last time we had our longest journey, I suppose, was our event that we had last year.
Oh yes, at Ennis.
At Ennis?
Cruising, yes.
And me and the wife really weren't fatigued at all or anything when we got there. This is like riding in a new automobile. It's very comfortable. It's just as comfortable as any new car.
Heck yeah, you stole the show too. You were signing autographs, weren't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's Uncle Ted. That's
Yeah.
Uncle Ted.
Yeah.
Project
There was
Mercury Rising.
there was quite a few fans there. All the Mustang people were there, so almost everybody was fans. I signed a few autographs, and photos of my car and such.
Makes you feel good.
Oh, it does.
Makes you feel good. What's your favorite part about the car? Or do you even have a favorite? The whole thing.
I would have to. It would have to be a 2-page list of all the favorite things I like about this car. There's just about nothing that I don't like about it.
The amount of detail that Shannon and everybody that worked on the car. Oh man,
Incredible.
so much detail you can't even see. You know, it's behind dashes, it's behind door panels.
Yeah.
And wherever, you know,
underneath the car too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every single piece of this car was touched and handled and painted and repaired. They do again.
Craftsmanship, workmanship, it's second to none. There's no doubt about it.
That's what's testimony, is to be able to ride the car with the air conditioning on, the windows up. And I still have 428 horsepower and 390 foot-pounds of torque. You know,
And for us to carry on a conversation.
and still drive down the road, not worry about the temperature of the motor or the oil pressure or anything that's going to explode, or, you know, or check my lifters.
Yeah. You like those gauges, don't you?
Oh, those gauges are premium.
That's 101.
That's the daddy llama of the car too.
Daddy llama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you look inside and see those custom built gauges built for the car, oh, it's nothing better, man. They don't look like a set of Suntunes thrown in a big hole. They look correct.
Yes, the ASC McLaren logo. Hank had to sign off on that, I think.
On the McLaren?
The ASC McLaren logo for us to use that?
Yeah, because he owns the rights to it?
Yes, I believe so. I
Wow.
believe that is correct.
Yeah. He has all the McLaren parts, all the ASC stuff. 150 cars were made.
In 85.
150 cars were made. Only 90 of the 150 were midnight blue.
That's right, you're right, yep.
Only 90 were midnight blue. And then out of the 90, you can imagine how many were 5-speed cars. So it might have been even less the numbers than that.
That's so crazy because it was, ASC was American Sunroof Company. You know, they didn't even,
Yeah.
and they saw the opportunity to kind of, you know, do a little bit different stuff with the car. You know, bring the McLaren name to it.
Yes.
You know, with the racing background.
The crazy
McLaren family.
fun fact of that is that they also made the Buicks too. The Grand National Buick is made by.
That's right.
McLaren also took those cars and done all the package of those cars. Upgraded the turbochargers, put their own ground effects on them, and they made the T-tops for them.
Since you helped take it all apart, and if you had your hand involved, do you think that all of this would have came about, would have came to fruition? Coyote, the full maximum motorsport suspension, you name it.
No way. Had it been chosen to be done that way, if I had the ability and of course we have all the parts and everything, so yes,
absolutely.
I wouldn't have built it any other way. I think he had my thoughts exactly in mind when he created this car and built it. The way it drives, the way it goes, all the gearing, and it's perfect.
I agree. As much as I love like a period correct restoration, there's the other side of me personally that loves the resto mods and the attention to detail.
Yeah.
You know, and taking modern components and making something old or classic, something that never could have been, you know, in 1985.
Yeah, and still have the ability to drive it every day, go somewhere, and it's not really,
Yeah.
you know.
You can drive this across the country. Throw your bag in the back, put gas in it, you know, and drive across the country.
This is your Uncle Ted signing off. Have a good evening, folks.